Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Rumor: Golden State Warriors' shocking plan had Klay Thompson returned. After months of speculation, Klay Thompson has finally left the Golden State Warriors to join Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving to play for the Dallas Mavericks. However, the Dubs had a plan if things went differently, and the Splash brother chose to remain in the Bay. The Warriors have agreed to a sign-and-trade deal that sent Klay Thompson to Dallas. In return, Golden State received 2 second-round draft picks, the Mavericks' 2031 pick and the lesser of the 2025 picks held by the Denver Nuggets and Philadelphia 76ers. This represents a relatively small return for the Warriors, who are parting ways with Thompson after 13 seasons and 4 NBA championships. GSW likely did not have much leverage in the negotiations, as the All-Star guard was determined to join the defending Western Conference champions. The 2031 pick the Warriors acquired could be for a player who is currently in 6th grade, highlighting the long-term nature of this return. The conditional 2025 pick also carries uncertainty, as it may end up being one of the final selections in the second round if the Nuggets and Sixers have strong seasons. While the Warriors did not receive a substantial haul for Thompson, the sign-and-trade at least ensures they do not lose him for nothing. It represents a pragmatic move to facilitate Thompson's desired destination while obtaining a couple of future draft assets, even if they are not high-value picks. In the event Thompson chose to stay a Warrior, Golden State already had a plan in place for the All-Star guard. In an article by Jake Fisher for Yahoo Sports, the plan would have been to use him from the bench in place of a rising star within the Dubs ranks. Flashing forward, if Thompson had returned to Golden State, the Warriors planned to bring Thompson off the bench behind sophomore guard Brandon Podziemski, sources said, after Golden State started its prized rookie for a good stretch during the second half of last season, Fisher wrote. Over the course of his first year in the NBA, Podziemski averaged 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. More importantly, he connected 38% of his shots from downtown and was active on the defensive end. As compared to Thompson, the rookie was seen as the more consistent option on the court. With Thompson now playing for Dallas, Podziemski now has the chance to solidify his role for the Dubs. Nevertheless, a lot of eyes will be on both players to see who won the deal. Warriors land $27 million Klay Thompson replacement. The Golden State Warriors found their replacement for Klay Thompson in what would have been a bench role for the upcoming season. The Warriors acquired Kyle Anderson from the Minnesota Timberwolves in a sign-and-trade deal agreed upon on July 2, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Golden State is sending Minnesota a future second-round pick swap in cash in the sign-and-trade, sources tell ESPN, Wojnarowski reported on X, formerly Twitter. The 30-year-old Anderson will sign a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Warriors, Wojnarowski added. Nicknamed Slow Mo for his deliberate pace of play, Anderson carved out a key bench role in the Timberwolves' rise in the Western Conference. Anderson is well regarded around the league as an ultimate role player with his fundamentally sound game and high basketball IQ. The Timberwolves wanted Anderson back, but with their staggering payroll, they could not agree to an extension. Tim Connolly and Chris Finch have said they want Kyle Anderson back. But as teams started negotiating with free agents on Sunday evening, it became clear that the two sides were far apart, according to team and league sources, The Athletic's John Krasinski wrote on July 1. Anderson averaged 6.4 points, 4.2 assists and 3.5 rebounds in 22.6 minutes off the bench last season for the Timberwolves. In the 2022-23 season, he shot a career-high 41% from the three-point distance, although on a small volume. A former first-round pick out of UCLA, the 6'9" Anderson returns to California after stops at San Antonio, Memphis, and Minnesota. He is expected to come off the bench for the Warriors, the same role they planned for Thompson as they penciled second-year guard Brandon Podziemski to start next to Stephen Curry. Thompson's 13-year run with the Warriors came to a crushing end on July 1 when he agreed to a sign-and trade, sending him to Western Conference rival Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors received 2 future second-round picks and a trade exception in return for the 3-team trade that also involved the Charlotte Hornets. Thompson agreed to a 3-year, $50 million deal to join the Mavericks, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, which was less in annual average salary than the Warriors' offer last offseason, which he declined. Shortly after the deal was announced, the Warriors issued a heartfelt message to Thompson, their homegrown star who was a key member of their dynasty that defined the team over the last 10 years. Warriors' Jonathan Kuminga-focused trade proposal lands Jazz star Lauri Markkanen. After officially saying goodbye to Klay Thompson after an incredible run alongside his splash brother Steph Curry and Draymond Green, the Golden State Warriors have shifted gears in order to get to work on keeping the team they have right now relevant heading into the future, with target number 1 arguably the most in-demand player in the NBA right now, Lauri Markkanen. On paper, his addition to the team makes sense, right? Markkanen is a big, long shooter at the 4 spot who could unofficially join the Splash Brothers ranks if Curry is taking applications, thanks to his 39.5% shooting percentage from deep as a member of the Utah Jazz. Markkanen has a very high basketball IQ, a 3-level game, and, after being largely miscast as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers as a 7-foot small forward, has become a 24.5 points per game scorer as the Jazz's power forward. Slot his game in next to Draymond Green and watch the Warriors remain relevant during the final years of their core's prime, all the while having a 27-year-old star they can build around heading into the future. The only problem? The Jazz want a Mikal Bridges-level trade package for the Finnish sharpshooter. Now sure, technically, the Warriors can make such a deal happen if they want to, as they can trade 4 first-round picks, have second-rounders, and are below the first apron, allowing them to make trades that weren't available to them a week ago when Thompson and Chris Paul were still on the books, but the Jazz reportedly aren't looking for a deal that is based solely on picks and would like to bring back a player or 2 from which they can build around, as even in 2031, Markkanen will likely still be an impactful player. Evaluating the Jazz's trade options heading into free agency, Tony Jones of The Athletic reported that if the Jazz decide to trade Markkanen, they are looking to add talent to their roster who can contribute in 2024 and beyond, not just draft picks that could prove useful into the future. Jazz also know that many of the teams attempting to convince them to trade Markkanen are attempting to add to their core, and not subtract. So, Golden State is not going to offer Jonathan Kuminga, Tony Jones wrote for The Athletic. The Kings won't offer Murray. If the Oklahoma City Thunder call, they aren't offering Jalen Williams. Many of the offers the Jazz have on the table are pick-heavy. But if the Jazz trade Markkanen to anyone, they are likely making that team quite a bit better. So, how good will those picks ultimately be? That's a question the Jazz have to answer. If the Jazz really can't land a haul that features a legit different maker like Kuminga, Murray, Jalen Williams, or any player of similar status, maybe they would be willing to value the Warriors' picks over similar offerings from a team like the Thunder or Jazz that isn't built around a pair of players in their mid-30s. But if the Warriors are serious about trading for Markkanen, they might just have to include Kuminga in a deal, as when it comes to a straight-up comparison, one player is noticeably better now and will probably have a better career overall. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Lauri Markkanen? Leave your opinion in the comments.